stayed on the nose approach.
Well, Suns off to the quick start. The new guy in the starting lineup, Kurt Thomas, hits that spot-up jumper, and then in transition, this is what San Antonio cannot do. Can't turn the ball over because it leads to open threes in transition. Well, Nash has so many weapons. If you back off him, I mean, this is why he can set up his entire game. One of the best shooters in the game. You have to respect that. Then what do you do when you respect that shot? You get out on him. He goes right around.
Fortunate all season and also now here in the postseason. But I think from a team perspective, we got to do a better job of corralling Tony and making him shoot hard shots.
Well, the problem in game one, and that's that kind of play that Steve Nash talked about after game one, the sense of desperation, getting on the floor.
Nash to the fade. When we talk about angles, a moment ago we compared it to Wayne Gretzky.
Barbosa, and then here's the angles we talked about. Just kind of squeezes around Bowen, and the fadeaway jumper. He was 3 for 10 going into that. Play. Greg Popovich wants that guy in the corner to talk about Marv. Nash drives baseline, and then looking for teammates. And watch the Spurs defense get sucked in. Manu Ginobili leaves Marion in the corner. You can't do that.
12 points to lead the way. 43-39, Phoenix. Thomas, yes. That's his third. Raja Bell to the rim. And the foul. The basket counts. And the foul on Ori.
Well, the transition hoop for Raja Bell. How about the difference in the halves? The end of the half in game one, Amare Stoudemire.
But that ball was deflected. 36 and 17 with Kurt Thomas in the lineup. It's Stoudemire.
Well, when Kurt Thomas comes into the game, it doesn't come. Well, when you play together for a couple of years, you start to understand each other's tendencies. Watch Nash and then watch Stoudemire, understanding that if he rolls right at the right time, he's going to have the angle, and he's a small, big man position. But
and I would say end-to-end, not a good sequence for Oberto.
And with Phoenix, you know, if they go with Thomas, that slows them down a little bit. This is a little bit of a quicker lineup with Stoudemire on the floor, so now they can run. You know, if this were Thomas, he'd still be at half court, but Stoudemire's getting. And again, we talk about the absence of Nash and what it does. And Diaz gets the feed to Stoudemire. Spurs wanted to travel. Greg Popovich can't believe it for Barry, because Diaz just too strong down there. We'll see if it results in a double team.
Oh, beautiful pass from Diaz to Stoudemire. A glass festival tonight.
You know, Duncan is so much better. Look at Barbosa getting out in transition. You can't say it.
Is the NBA behind Dallas. First round of the playoffs, beat the Lakers in 5. Beautiful pass, Nash to Thomas.
San Antonio just can't handle this.
To 32. Out of the 5 of 14, when Sean Marion was guarding him, he was just 2 for 8. He was 1 for 2 against Kurt Thomas, 1 for 2 against Barbosa, 0 for 1 against Raja.
So you want to get Parker going again, but the bigger concern for Popovich is the play of Manu Ginobili as Stoudemire knocks down the jumper. He's got 20.
San Antonio next Monday night. Barbosa knocks down a 3. And we'll be on hand in San Antonio next Monday night right here on TNT. It's a 101-81 victory for the Suns. In playoff competition, it's their biggest win over the San Antonio Spurs. San Antonio had won 5 straight postseason games here. They had won 4 straight playoff games against the Suns. And now it's time for the House of Pain. Well, we'll get back to the House of Pain at a later date. Let's go to Craig Sager.
Well, the score makes it look like a blowout, but it was a very close game till Steve Nash took over at the end of the second quarter, the beginning of the third. How were you able to break down the Spurs defense?
Well, I just thought, you know, we first quarter we came out and missed a bunch of shots we normally make. We were getting good shots. We started to get them going in the basket for us, and I thought that was, you know, important because the tempo was to our favor, and if we could just make some shots, it gave us a little cushion to work with. You know, my hero growing up in Canada, come and watch me play is one thing. For him to, you know, be so supportive is just incredible. I really thank him for coming out.
You got Band-Aid. What happened?
Can't remember.
Back to you, Marv.
All right, Craig, Steve Nash, 20 points and 16 assists. Amare Stoudemire, the high man, with 27 to lead Phoenix. Tim Duncan leading the Spurs with 29 points. Again, the final score, the Suns 101 and the Spurs 81. And this series is tied up at 1, Game 3 in San Antonio on Saturday night. Thanks to our producers, Scooter Patino, director Renardo Lowe, and our statistician, Brian Taylor. For Craig Sager, Steve Kerr, and our entire crew, I'm Marv Albert saying good night from Phoenix, Arizona. We now take you to our TNT studio. Let's go to Ernie, Kenny Charles, and Magic.